Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the No DQ live recap of WWE NXT for August the 26th, 2020. Coming off the NXT TakeOver pay-per-view over the weekend. Tonight was a very noteworthy edition of NXT. A lot of things happened, and we have another big show coming up next Tuesday. I will be doing a live stream for that show. And of course, tomorrow night, AEW Dynamite, special Thursday night edition. Next week, AEW will be back on Wednesday night. A lot of different nights for shows, but the No DQ team keeps going at it. I'm doing the live streams. No DQ review will be this Saturday night, hopefully. Let's go ahead and get to our NXT recap. And by the way, best wishes to Virtue. Hope he's feeling better. Hope he'll be ready to go on Saturday. We kicked off TakeOver, the post-TakeOver show, I should say, with a recap of TakeOver. We had the new NXT World Champion, Karrion Kross, come out. His arm was in a sling. He started off by saying he told everyone that he would win the championship, but when you go to war, there are casualties on both sides. He said he separated his shoulder, but he loves the pain. It brings him to life. However, WWE officials will not allow him to defend the championship with the injury. He said the obstacles are the path, and he proceeded to lay down the NXT championship, forfeiting the title. But he said the doomsday is still coming. Tom McCarthy with the $2 super chat says, hashtag stick to the topic. That's right, and thank you for that, Tom. Not really shocked about Kross relinquishing the title after the news came out that he was injured. Unfortunately, a separated shoulder injury means he will likely be gone for a considerable amount of time. Wade Barrett was back in WWE on commentary for this NXT show. He was there with Vic Joseph doing the commentary. And he will be back on next week's show. Not sure when that's being taped, but he will be back for at least one more show. And maybe he'll be back for more. I thought he did well. It seemed like he got a good reception from the internet wrestling community. Happy to see Wade Barrett back in WWE, even if it's in a commentary capacity. Imagine if Wade Barrett was the man behind Retribution. That would be quite the storyline. Ken terminated by DQ with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Ken. Says, isn't Stu Bennett a contracted broadcaster for NWA Power? Oh well, at least NXT can finally have a solid color man. No offense to Nigel McGuinness. Some people think that Nigel does a better job on commentary than Barrett, but people are saying generally positive things about Barrett. And as far as NWA Power goes, I mean, it's on ice right now. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, nothing's going on with NWA, and we've seen competitors in NWA, Ricky Starks, Thunder Rosa, Eddie Kingston, show up in AEW, and people are trying to make a living. Barrett had an opportunity to come in. Mauro Ranallo is dealing with family issues. He's in Canada, and we'll see what happens. I would love it if we had Mauro Ranallo and Wade Barrett as a commentary duo. I would be all for that. We had Breezango challenging Imperium for the NXT Tag Team titles. Breezango had some fire. They went right after the champions. Imperium attempted to work over that injured shoulder of Fandango. But then Imperium had a miscommunication. Breeze came in, hit some super kicks, tagged in Fandango, who did his double leg drop from the top onto both Imperium members, and then he scored the 1-2-3 pinfall victory. I have to say, I was a little surprised by this, that Breezango would win the tag team titles. I guess good for them, because they probably need some kind of momentum in NXT. I just find it hard to buy into them. Even in NXT, like they have been portrayed as prelim guys for so long, it's hard to take them seriously. But then again, Drew McIntyre was part of 3MB and he was able to rehab, although it wasn't in WWE, he did it elsewhere. So maybe this will be the beginning of a new beginning for Breezango. And we'll see who they end up challenging next. Maybe they face Undisputed Era for the tag team titles. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I did find it to be a little surprising. And General Videos thinks that Imperium is heading back to NXT UK. I mean, that is certainly a possibility with NXT UK booting up again. I'm still not sure how the whole travel situation is as far as people in the United States being able to travel to the UK. The Game is on 100 with a $2 super chat. Says, Breezango wins tag team titles. Give me a break, jobbers. Ouch. Game is on 100. Wasn't too thrilled with Breezango winning the tag team titles. And I've seen a mixed reaction. I know some people have been pulling for Breezango to get a renewed push and have something going for them, while others pretty much see it from the perspective of, hey, they're prelim guys, and now prelim guys are holding the tag team titles. Josh Mansfield says, Aaron, what are you smoking? What do you mean, what am I smoking? Nothing, Josh. I do not smoke. So nice try, buddy. Damian Priest cut a backstage promo saying that the after party is still rolling. Timothy Thatcher approached Priest and said it's embarrassing the way that Priest acts. Priest was like, who are you? Tim said he's the guy that wants the first shot at the NXT North American Championship, and he said he'll show how unequipped Damian Priest is. And Priest responded by saying he's very well equipped. Ha ha ha, if you know what he means. We had Shawn Michaels, Triple H, William Regal, the commissioner, and Matt Bloom in the boardroom discussing how they would handle the NXT championship situation now that Kross has relinquished the title. We had Jake Atlas versus the returning Tommaso Ciampa, and you guys pretty much know how this is going down. Ciampa picked up the quick victory in about a minute, hit him with a headbutt, and then hit the draping DDT to win. But the big story was post-match. Afterwards, Ciampa went to town. He turned heel. He viciously beat down Jake Atlas. He did a guillotine using the ring, the bottom of the ring. And then the medical team came out and put Atlas on a stretcher. And then Ciampa attacked Atlas even further, did his draping DDT using the stretcher, off the stretcher. The old Ciampa is back, the old heel Ciampa, and I think a lot of people were happy about this because Ciampa, he's a better heel than a face. But we do have a lot of heels at the top. I mean, Kross is hurt now, so maybe Ciampa going heel was a last-minute decision due to Kross's injury, because I was feeling like we were going to get Ciampa versus Kross at some point in a storyline, so Ciampa could try and get his revenge and redemption from In Your House. This might have been something that was done spur of the moment. We had Candice LeRae talking about Tegan Nox, how they used to be friends, but then Tegan stopped understanding her. We had Bronson Reed cut a backstage promo interview, said that he has actually beaten Damian Priest and should be first in line for the North American Championship. And then we had the return of Austin Theory. Austin Theory was previously on Monday Night Raw, part of Seth Rollins' faction, but he disappeared in June, right around the time there were speaking out accusations made against him. Now he's back in NXT. Maybe it's just a similar situation as Velveteen Dream, where WWE feels there's not enough evidence to keep him off television. And maybe they decided to put him in NXT since it's lower profile, it's not Monday Night Raw. I mean, that's the feeling I get here, that it's the same thing as Dream, you know. If there was somebody that was going to prosecute and press charges, then it would be a different scenario. But since there apparently isn't, WWE is moving forward with using these guys on TV. Some people are not happy about this, as you can imagine. People are not happy about Velveteen Dream, who was not on this show, by the way. And people mixed reactions to Theory being back. Bronson slapped him after Theory said maybe at 55, Bronson would finally win a championship. We had Mia Yim, who was scheduled for a match with Mercedes Martinez, but then Robert Stone and Aaliyah came out and said it wasn't going to happen. Shotzi Blackheart showed up in her tank, ran over Robert's foot once again, so that's a recurring thing here. And then we had a match between Mia Yim and Shotzi Blackheart, two friends, two allies, had a fair match here against each other. Although at one point, Shotzi did her little howling taunt and Mia took a shot at her. The announcers teased that the winner of this could potentially get a match for the NXT Women's Championship. And in a little bit of an upset here to some people, Shotzi Blackheart picked up the win with the senton. Maybe Mia Yim is going to join her husband on the main roster. Or maybe Mia Yim is looking for some retribution. I guess we'll have to find out soon enough if this means that Mia Yim is moving on in a different direction elsewhere, or if WWE just wants to push Shotzi Blackheart right now. But yeah, it was pretty much played off like it was a big upset and the biggest win of Shotzi's career. We had William Regal come out to make a big announcement regarding the NXT Championship. And TJS with a $5 super chat. Thank you, TJS. He says, is NXT moving to Tuesdays, then surrendering to AEW? Also, I feel like Lee versus Kross was lose-lose. Lee loses the title. Gear and theme for nothing. Agree. It's an unfortunate situation, but I will say WWE took a bad situation and made a positive out of it, which I'll talk about here. I don't know if NXT is going to move nights, because that would be seen as giving up and forfeiting. But we'll see what the numbers are. If NXT does a really big number next week, maybe they'll move to Tuesdays. Who knows? Anything's possible, but to me, I feel like it would be an ego thing. Like, could Triple H and everybody really put their egos aside and move NXT to a different night where they could do bigger numbers? Don't know. Don't know if they'll let their egos make that decision. Put their egos in check. I don't know if they'll do that. So anyways, William Regal made this announcement, and he said best wishes to Karrion Kross on his long recovery, his words. So yeah, not looking good for Kross coming back anytime soon. And Regal announced that next week there will be a match to crown a new champion. It will be a fatal four-way Iron Man match, a 1 hour Iron Man match with 4 people. When was the last time we had a 4-way Iron Man match? Just wondering. In a 1 hour setting, too. I cannot recall the last one, at least in WWE. Maybe another promotion did it, but WWE, I don't think it's ever been done. Correct me if I'm wrong. Josh Mansfield says never. Where's Greg Cherry? Greg Cherry would know for sure, but I don't believe we've done a Fatal 4-Way 1-hour Iron Man match on a major stage, at least. Ken says it's never been done, and NXT Scorpio says first time ever. So I'm taking everybody's word for it. I do not remember one, but I'm getting old here and I tend to forget things. The 4 participants will be 4 former champions. 4 top guys in NXT. The Mount Rushmore of NXT. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, and Finn Balor. That is going to be a hell of a match next week. That will be a must-see match, and I suspect NXT will do a pretty big number if people tune in on Tuesday. They did mention it several times. They billed it as Super Tuesday for next week. Tom McCarthy sent in a $2 super chat, says, no DQ trivia. When was the last 60-man Iron Man match on cable? That I do not know, Tom. I'm sure Greg Cherry would know, but he's not here. TGS with a $2 super chat says, ads are going to kill my investment. Finn must win. I think Finn would be my prediction. I don't see Cole getting it back right now. And maybe Ciampa. I don't see Gargano getting it. I feel like Balor will be the one to get it and carry the torch for a while. But that's just my gut feeling. Right now, I'm going with Balor to win. We had Isaiah Swerve Scott challenging Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship, and Escobar was out there without his compadres. Escobar dominated for a while. He slammed Swerve Scott into the plexiglass. Eventually, Swerve made his comeback, but then you had Wild come out for a distraction, and while he was distracting the referee, Mendoza came out and grabbed Swerve's foot. Escobar took advantage and got a near fall. Then we had Breezango come out to even the odds. Swerve hit a running kick, but Escobar kicked out. And then he went for another pin, but Escobar managed to get his foot on the rope. And then while on the outside of the ring, Escobar put on his lucha mask, which must have been loaded with a foreign object, headbutted Swerve while wearing the mask, took the mask off, and then pinned Scott to retain his championship. I like the finish. I thought that was pretty cool heel tactic there by Escobar. Good match here, good finish. Mike B with a $25 super chat. Thank you, Mike B. You are the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. Funky like a monkey and all that good stuff. He says, it's not much, but use this for you and Caitlin. Sorry if I spelled it wrong. For a date night. Also, shout out to Sassy and Casey, the cats. Sorry for going off topic. Not a problem. I will not shame you for that super chat. Josh Mansfield, however, is shaming you, so he's going off on you in the chat room. But I appreciate it. I'll let Caitlin know. She probably wants sushi, so she'll get her sushi. We had some promos from the participants in next week's match. Gargano said he was inches away from ending his career last week, and he still has something to prove. He wants to remind everyone who the hell he is. He's the Iron Man of NXT, and he's going to prove it next week when he wins the title back. And then Balor cut a promo saying he's not a cornerstone, he is a centerpiece. Then we had a one-on-one match between Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era and Drake Maverick. This was set up from a couple weeks ago when Undisputed Era crashed the match between Maverick and Killian Dane. Maverick was on fire. He wanted to get some payback. Undisputed Era was out there at ringside, and they ended up taking a blow for O'Reilly. Maverick was on the top, did this dive. O'Reilly moved and the other UE guys got hit. O'Reilly managed to work over the knee of Maverick and then won via a leg submission. After the match, we had the UE members beat down Maverick. Killian Dane made the save, but then attacked Drake Maverick to make it clear that he's not friends with Maverick. It's every man for himself, but he did help him out. Just did not want to be buddy-buddy with him. We had Adam Cole do his promo for next week, said he has a chance to make history against the Mount Rushmore of NXT, and he would once again become champion. That will be undisputed. And Kurapiko7 wanted me to mention that there was a little bit of tension between the UE members. And like I said, I think they need to do something with these guys, like a storyline split or anything. Just, you got to evolve with the group and everything. And I did want to say Wade Barrett was nice enough to put over UE as being a better faction than Nexus. That was noble of Mr. Barrett to really put over the UE over his own group. We had our main event match of the evening, Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And the storyline here was that would Rhea Ripley really be on the same page with Io, because Ripley wants what Io has, and that's the NXT Women's Championship. But they did end up working together in this match. And at one point, Ripley tagged in, but the referee did not see it. And when the referee was distracted, Mercedes Martinez ran out and pulled Ripley off the apron. Ripley got hurt. Ripley ended up tagging in, but she was not 100%. And Gonzalez took advantage of the situation, pinned Ripley to win the match for her and Dakota Kai. So it looks like we'll see a follow-up with Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez. And that was the end of NXT with Dakota Kai and Gonzalez standing tall. Really good show here. I thought this was one of the better NXT shows of the year. Maybe the best NXT takeover, or not. Why do I keep saying takeover? Best NXT episode since the pandemic started. I mean, maybe the best one since the Great American Bash when Keith Lee won the championship. Definitely a top 5, in my opinion, of the pandemic era. A lot of things happened on this show, and I think WWE did a good job making the most of a very bad situation, because next week we're going to have a really awesome Iron Man match to crown a new champion until Kross is able to return. So I am going to give the show a solid A. Really strong show, and I think WWE put together the best show they could under the circumstances, or very close to the best show they could. Hence, I'm giving it a solid A. Not an A+, but it was a damn good show. I would even say it was a great show. The Game is on 100 with an A, CC Drink with an A, Israel Diaz with an A, Domestic Butler with an A, Kev with an A, NXT Scorpio with a B+, Daniel was down a bit with a C-, Mike B with an A, Tyson with an A, Inzamasu We Trust with an A, and Michael Gonzalez with a B, and Johnny Boy with an A. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I appreciate your viewership and support. I will be back after AEW Dynamite, special Thursday night edition. I'll be talking about Dynamite, so tune in for that right after the show ends. And then Friday night, we got Smackdown again. Saturday, no DQ review. Sunday, we got Payback recap. Monday, Raw. Tuesday, NXT. Wednesday, AEW. Thursday, hopefully no DQ review. And then Friday, Smackdown. And then Saturday, AEW All Out. A lot of stuff, a lot of content to talk about. So subscribe to the channel, tell a friend. I really appreciate the word of mouth. If you guys could just tell one of your wrestling friends, or even a stranger, go tweet some random person and say, hey, check out Aaron Riff's channel. It would be very much appreciated. Thank you guys. Much love to the No DQ Street team, and I will see you guys next time.